Have you ever yo-yoed? And we're not talking about the children's toy. It seems to me that quite a lot of Americans have yo-yo dieted at some point in their life. And as I try to tell my true story, which of these diets have you also tried and what were your results? I'd love to know about your unique journey. So my first attempt at dieting was 40 years ago when I joined my best friend Arlene, who would typically do a crazy 3-day fast. Now this made us feel like we were losing weight at lightning speed, but of course I couldn't sustain the fast for more than just a couple of days because I would feel so starving and weak that I felt like I would literally lose consciousness. Nor was this diet delicious and sustainable. As I observed Arlene's results over the years of doing her 3-day fasts, Arlene would always gain back every pound she ever lost, plus more each year. Now, hopefully we all know by now that yo-yo dieting is not only depressing, but it's also considered dangerous because research shows that repeated dieting, and especially with severe caloric restriction, may actually lead to more weight gain than we originally lost because the brain interprets the diets as short-term famines and urges the person's metabolism to store more fat in preparation for future food shortages. So the next diet plan I tried was Weight Watchers in the early 90s, and I stuck with it for about a year. I loved many things about Weight Watchers during those days, especially having access to lots of approved recipes, getting to know the other ladies in my group, the weekly weigh-ins, and the accountability meetings with encouragement, shared victories, struggles, and brainstorming support. Research shows that accountability and community support are some really important factors in any endeavor, and especially for weight loss, which is why I stuck with Weight Watchers for so long. Over that year, however, I eventually found the point conversion system a bit of a hassle, and the in-person meetings were way too time-consuming, so the weight I lost began to creep back on. In the late 90s, the low-fat diet reigned supreme as scientists, a new food pyramid, and health writers declared the low-fat, high-carb diet to be the gold standard for heart health and weight control. So naturally, I jumped on that bandwagon along with all my friends. The food industry began replacing fat with sugar in processed foods, leading to what became known later as the SnackWell's phenomenon, which was low-fat foods that had just as many calories as the formerly high-fat versions, but with a lot more sugar. And the American Heart Association introduced its program to label low-fat foods with its Heart Healthy seal of approval. Now, food companies began lining up to pay for the Heart Healthy label, which implied to consumers that processed foods were the heart healthiest. By 1997, over 600 products had the Heart Healthy seal on their packaging, many of which were sugary cereals, including Frosted Flakes and low-fat Pop-Tarts. Now, the bottom line is that I, along with all my friends and millions across America, actually gained weight on a low-fat diet plan. So I began to wonder, was exercise the real answer to weight loss? So I invested about $1,200 in a NordicTrack cross-country ski machine. I used it faithfully for many months, but I didn't shed very many pounds. And it was quite a lot of hard work. Now, I know I got many cardiovascular benefits, but I didn't get the weight loss transformation that I was expecting from my $1,200 investment. And now, even though most people these days have been told by the food industry that exercise is a very effective way to lose weight, this has been referred to as a myth in the scientific literature. In fact, it's labeled as one of the most common misconceptions in the field of obesity. So now, don't get me wrong, exercise is extremely important to overall health, but there's a funny saying that we can't outrun our fork because it's actually nearly impossible to lose weight by exercise alone. It's our diet that holds most of the winning cards. So since weight loss is tied most directly to what we eat, I began to wonder about the Nutrisystem plan and their done-for-you meals. Or maybe I'd try one of the many magic weight loss shake plans. How about you? Have you tried any of these diet plans? So over the years I considered these, but I never signed on because I just knew that they would be ultra expensive and unsustainable. So next, somewhere around the early 2000s, I tried an Atkins plan. I read a huge book, and all the scientific details awakened the inner nerd inside of me. And I lost about 30 pounds. Yay, right? However, as soon as I tried easing back into a normal eating pattern, the extra pounds returned. And later on, I began to hear about something called the keto diet, so of course I had to try it. Now, as we know, it's very similar to Atkins with high fat, low carbs, and I liked it for a while, but I fell back into the same familiar patterns before long. Several other diets along the way too, as I'm sure you can imagine. Just like all the other plans, nothing seemed to be my sustainable, delicious, forever eating plan. So thankfully last year I became acquainted with another certified health coach who has personally lost 120 pounds on a forever plan that is not only sustainable but also delicious. She agreed to mentor me and train me to teach this plan for my weight loss clients. And I'm happy to report that my excess pounds have dropped off quite easily and have stayed off. Now my mentor and dozens of her other clients have also maintained their weight losses for over a year. And the really cool thing is that once we learn a few new skills and follow a few simple guidelines, our weight loss can be maintained and easily managed forever. In the Weight Loss Solutions group, you can access many delicious and easy recipes that are tried and true by myself and other clients. You can also enjoy the ongoing support and encouragement from a community of friends, and you'll benefit from shared victories, struggles, brainstorming, and accountability, all of which are key elements to lifelong success. So the bottom line is that in my Weight Loss Solutions group, we need not fear regaining weight because we are enjoying great food along with a transformation in our life and in our health. And I can't emphasize enough why it's so important to find an eating plan that is delicious, easy, and sustainable so that we can end yo-yo dieting forever, get real results, and maintain weight loss for a lifetime without feeling deprived. Because after all, when we can fill our plates with real food that's delicious and healthy instead of with addictive food that's killing us, we feel happily full, satisfied, and empowered to lead a transformed life. I'm Diane Pittenger, certified health coach and weight loss specialist. I help people lose weight, but most importantly to maintain their weight loss without having to buy pre-made meals, fancy shakes, or anything other than groceries, and without sweating for hours in an expensive gym every day. So my clients can look great and feel awesome with a transformed life and health. The clients who have the best results with my program realize that they have the power and ability to transform their life and health by following a few simple guidelines. And you also have this power and ability. If you're curious to learn more about transforming your life, I'd love to share a few of the details that you can immediately put into action. I'm sure you'd be a great fit too for the transforming support you'll get in this program.